Badu.
We're back for episode 30.
30. Oh dear.
Oh God, I'm getting old.
I know.
Right, well, we've got the usual format for you guys today.
What a fucking surprise.
I know. Well, why? If it works, why change it?
Well, that is true. You guys do enjoy this. You seem to anyway. You keep watching it.
And that's it. Well,
So
listening to it.
Well, listening to it, watching it, wanking over it.
Please don't.
And if you
Please
do, don't tell us.
Yeah.
We're tired. It's 10:30 in the morning. We're normally still asleep.
Well, we've got a couple of films to talk about. We've only got the one game to really talk about.
Yeah.
And as usual,
although I think isn't next month E3.
Yeah.
So I'll pull some shit from that so that we can talk about for next month. We won't do a special because I'm not a fan of E3.
No, not really.
It's all fucking Skyrim on the fucking toaster.
And then, as usual, some Metro stories to talk about.
Yep.
We'll start off with the films. Well, the first one that we're going to chat about today is The Incredibles 2, which is a film that a lot of us have been waiting for a long time.
We were kids when Incredibles came out.
It should be good. I mean, they seem to be moving it from where it ended last.
Yeah.
Which is good because obviously we didn't want to just... Pixar have got this habit of like aging their characters along with actual time that passes, which is good for things like Toy Story and whatnot.
Yeah.
But The Incredibles, I don't think it'd have been fair to do so because we need to see how his parents coped.
Yeah. Well, I'm not being funny.
Jack is obviously the main star of this film.
Well, I'm not being funny. The kids would have been as old as we are, so...
Yeah. But no, Jack now, obviously they all seem to realise he now has abilities, which is good, being the shape-shifting demon thing that he is.
Yeah, shape-shifting demon child.
But no, they seem to have done a bit of a role reversal from what I've seen from the trailers. Obviously in the first film, Mr. Incredible was the one that went off trying to save the world behind his family's back.
Yeah.
And in the trailers it looks very much like Elastigirl is now going off to do the saving of the world and leaving Mr. Incredible at home to babysit.
Well, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I suppose. But no, I mean, I've been waiting for this film for a long time. It's been
so have a lot of people.
It's been like well over a decade, like 15 years. Is it since the first one, something like that? It's been a hell of a long time, and to be fair, I think it'll be nice to see where they want to go with this because they obviously
2004.
Yeah, so about 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah, 14.
They've been, I mean, we've been waiting to see how the family were going to cope with Jack. We wanted to see what was next for the Incredibles and for the Supers in general because obviously they came back and saved the world again at the end of the film, being Supers, and it's just a case now of do the world want the Supers back?
Well, that's what I would...
Probably not.
Probably not, but are they going to come back? It seemed like... That seems to be the thing in most superhero things. Like, you've got with the Avengers, you had it with the Watchmen, of Supers not being wanted.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah. But you see that guy with the laser beams... He's gonna kill you, so you might want to let him come back, you dumb bastards.
I mean, they seem to have kept the same cast as the first film, which is good.
Yeah.
I hate it when they start changing things like that.
I do. I've never been a fan of when they've had to change the cast for whatever reason. I mean, it's easier in animation. But for whatever reason, they seem to still struggle, and yet I think people can do voices. What's up with you? Must be it's coming in America in June.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Okay. Well, according to depending on which page you look at on IMDb. It's either coming out on the 15th of June or July 13th in the UK, which is odd because IMDb never normally do that.
Philippines, seems to be coming out in all the really random countries in June.
and America.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently we're chatting about this a month early.
Oh well. There's more coming out next month. I'm not that bothered.
But yeah,
either way,
it should be a good film. I'm looking forward to watching it because it's one of those things, you know, we've been waiting for it since we were kids. It was always one of the better Disney Pixar films, just because, you know, it's something that kids like. Kids like superheroes.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're really funny with it because they're a family and families aren't supposed to work together to save the world like this because it doesn't normally work.
No. Problems not... Nice neck crack. Problems normally occur.
But no,
normally occur. Normally occur is right. Yeah.
But Incredibles 2 should be a good film. Like I say, apparently it's coming out the 13th of July for the rest of us, which is odd because I wouldn't have thought that I've waited a month. But there you go. You know, that's the way that the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid, guys. So we'll be waiting a bit longer than the States. Maybe.
Maybe, we don't know. IMDb is off at times. Well, I see why Samuel L. Jackson's been at least.
Right.
But yeah, so not really much more to say about that. It's a superhero film. I don't really know much about it other than Helen's the main person this time.
Yeah, you know, obviously Jack, they're going to be seeing just how powerful Jack is, because I think the idea was always supposed to be Jack was the most powerful Incredible.
Yeah,
but the one that can't control his abilities
because he's still a baby. Yeah, I mean,
so it might be a film that's sort of mainly based around them sort of teaching him
/ learning. Oh fuck, he can do everything.
Yeah. But no, that's out soon, guys. So that's definitely something to go and watch. We're going to move on to the next film now.
Yeah.
Which I'm really looking forward to.
I also need to stop yawning. I am also looking forward to this one. He says robotically.
That is the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
I've been watching the trailers for this film. It's looking really, really good. Now, if you watch a lot of the trailers for this film, I think everyone has realised now that a lot of the footage in the trailer is in the first half an hour of the film.
Yeah.
Is what I'm guessing. Where they actually go back to the Jurassic Park island to rescue several dinosaurs.
Because the volcano
it's about to melt them all to oblivion again. But then in some of the trailers, we're seeing that the dinosaurs are actually in and around humans.
Yeah.
There's a lovely snapshot of the water-based sea monster
megalodon.
Yeah, no, it weren't a megalodon. That's a big shark. It was
right.
like I can't remember what it's called.
Is it the one Loch Ness is meant to be?
Yeah, sort of thing. That one is got a snapshot of it about to eat a surfer for a wave. So, and obviously Jeff Goldblum in one of the trailers is saying, we're in a new era. Welcome to Jurassic World. Saying that the dinosaurs are out and about now. There's another great snapshot as well that I've seen of the ever faithful T-Rex that they own marching up to a Pride Rock and roaring at a lion.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this film because we sort of got a glimpse of what it would be like to have these dinosaurs around humans in Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
Yeah.
But I think everyone's always wanted to see...
That was the second one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was always that thing where everyone wanted to see what would happen if the park was fully opened and people were there and dinosaurs got out. We got that with the last film. That's what it was all about. I mean, obviously the first film, yes, there were people there, but the park wasn't open. They were there as like a test day, see what it was like, see if they gave it their stamp of approval. Obviously, we moved through Jurassic Park: The Lost World. They go to a separate island where they've been breeding dinosaurs and letting them live almost naturally.
Yeah.
Mainly because the dinosaurs once again had overthrown the facility. I mean, it's proven don't fuck with dinosaurs.
Well,
you know
would
what I mean?
I mean,
they were here before us. They know how this world
They'll
works.
be here after us at this fucking rate.
That's what Jeff Goldblum's saying.
Is it actually what he's saying?
Yeah, he's saying that they'll be here after us if we're not careful. And then obviously we had Jurassic Park 3, where we had the boy and his stepfather trying to see the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then It all goes to shit. They lose the boat. They end up crash landing on this on the island, and he has to look after himself. Basically, we've seen another thing that I think a lot of people wanted, where how would a child or a younger person deal in that situation? And I think that's what they wanted to try and do with the third film. And then obviously we come on to the last film that we've seen, Jurassic World, which was really good, because they're moving in now to where the books were supposed to move into, that these were dinosaurs not just created for the park, they were supposed to be being used to create new weaponry, be turned into weapons themselves, and now they're moving forward with that idea even more. They tried to bring that in their last film. I think with this one, they're definitely going to be focusing on that.
I mean, it seems that they're selling the dinosaurs
it looked very much like in the trailer. The Indominus Rex that was in the first film, it looks like they've created a newer version and miniaturized it to be the size of a raptor. And be used as a weapon. I think that's where the film's going, that basically these dinosaurs are now being used as weapons.
We funded this, they're meant to be weapons. It's like, well, no, they're fucking living creatures, you're fucked.
So no, I think it'd be really good. It's nice to see that Owen and Claire from the first film, Chris Pratt and the Gingerbird.
A gingerbird. Well, I'm sure she feels love from you.
I'll learn your name. Bryce Dallas Howard. I'm pretty sure that I'm really glad that they're back, because I think it would have been wrong to have sort of left them out. Jeff Goldblum's back in this film, which is good, because I think that's what they need to do now. They need to be bringing in the older people to sort of talk about it. And obviously Jeff's been very much against the Jurassic Park since the first film.
Oh, definitely.
I don't see, looking at the cast list now, they don't seem to have brought back any of the others from the films. I think it would have been nice maybe to bring back Dr. What's his tits from the first and third film.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
I can't remember what his name was. But no, I think it should be a good film. I really do. I've been loving the Jurassic Park films since I was a kid, because that's when they came out.
Oh yeah, we're on the fit, because they're doing another one after this one, aren't they?
Yeah, which should. I think then I would leave it after doing that. I think after this film and the next one, that should be where it ends. Maybe in the next one, it's basically just the case of hunt down the last of what's there and destroy it. Maybe, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. That, guys, is coming out on the
something
6th of June, so out in a few days for you guys, a couple of weeks for us. But no, I think we should be in for a good ride. I mean, to be fair, the last film was really good. A lot of action.
After the third film, Jurassic Park 3, I was not. When I heard Jurassic World, I was like, yeah, but the third one ruined it, because I didn't like the third one.
No, I mean, the third one was one of those films. I think it was more like because they'd done two really good ideas before it. It seemed like they were trying to clutch at straws a little bit. But I think the third one was definitely needed, because
it was needed
because it was to show you that these parks are never going to be safe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do.
I get why I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was a good film. And then, obviously, I heard they were releasing Jurassic World, and I was kind of like, I'm not really bothered. So I didn't watch it for ages. And then I watched it, and I was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah, it's really good.
And now I'm hyped for Fallen Kingdom. All I can say is I hope that my hype doesn't fall. No,
sorry.
Oh.
No.
Good night, everybody. I'll see you later.
No, I think it should be interesting to see what they decided to go in the direction of this film. I mean, it could end up being just like a slight spin-off of Jurassic Park 2, to be honest.
I mean, these Jurassic World films, so far, like, in the very minor, they are, because the first film, the park was rebuilt, the park got destroyed. Jurassic World, the park was built, it got destroyed.
I mean, I like the fact...
there is that parallel. In the second films, humans interacting with dinosaurs. If in the third Jurassic World they have a kid running about, I'm done. I'm done, right? Because I can see the parallels between the Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World.
I think that what really made Jurassic World work was the fact that they'd actually done the time to create a fully informed timeline of what happened between Jurassic Park 1 to Jurassic World, to show you that the park was opened in 2005. They'd been running successfully for 10 years to 2015, which was obviously when Jurassic World came out as a film. You know, they told you about Richard Hammond, and they told you about InGen and everything that had been going on with this park. And I think that really Jurassic World would have fallen on its arse had that not been explained.
Oh, agreed.
I think that they did the same with the Independence Day films. They gave you a really good timeline of what happened between the last film, and the new film. And I think that, excuse me,
I think you need to go back to bed.
When they do that, I think it really helps, because it fills in those gaps. Because I think we've all done it before, where we watch a film and then the sequel comes out a couple of years later, but it's 10 years ahead. And in that 10 years, they haven't really explained to you what the fuck's been going on for those 10 years. Or they touch upon it very slightly and so vaguely that it still doesn't really give you any sort of idea.
Or they do it through... another one that annoys me is they do it through Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So you have to watch you watch it at the cinema and you're like, okay, good film, and then you see on the internet 10 Easter eggs you missed about what happened, and then you're like, great, now I've got to watch the fucking film again.
Yeah.
600 times on Netflix.
I think that when they give you this informed timeline of this is what happened, this year this happened, that year this happened, you know, I think it really helps tie all of the films together for a start.
Yeah, see, I like the way Jurassic World literally did it, of the information screens, which you get at these types of parks. At SeaWorld,
yeah,
you get the screens of the dolphins' natural habitat.
Yeah.
Where in 2000 and blah 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 blah, that's how it would happen at a park. Now I've not seen Independence Day, the second one. So how did they do it in that one?
So they released a full-on website.
Oh, and that just tells you.
Yeah, they gave you a full-on website with news stories. It told you about the fact Will Smith's character had died in a flying test. Of an
saves the world, crashes his plane later on.
Yeah, basically they created, obviously using the aliens technology, they created the fighter jets that can go out into space, and he was on a test flight for one of them and the engines failed and he died. Now, if you speak to Will Smith, he's very upset by this, because although he couldn't make the filming for that film, he still wanted to be able to go back into it.
Like if they do Independence Day 3.
Which they are.
Are they?
Apparently so, yes.
So he wanted the ability to
be able to come
whereas
back.
The only way to do it now would be he crash landed and survived in the jungle or some bullshit like that, and it's
no, because they found his body.
They found it.
Yeah. He's gone.
But even if they did, he crash landed and they'd never found the body, that's a cop out story.
Yeah, I mean but like I say, with that film they created a full-on website. They did with this one as well. They did create a website with this. You could go to it. It told you all the information about when the park was rebuilt, how they got everything in there, any problems they ever had, everything. It's like a full-on informed website. And I think when they do that, it gives you the ability to just sort of link the dots and make in your own head sense of what's gone on, how they got to where they are now.
Oh, yeah.
Because the reality is that you could go and watch the Jurassic Park film, you can go and watch 2 and 3, and then all of a sudden go and watch World and go, why the fucking hell did they open the park again?
Yeah.
Whereas if you read that they, read about how they got the park to be reopened, how they managed to get to where they were, you realise quite quickly that, they genuinely thought they were safe this time.
Yeah, yeah.
But...
Because, that's... I was actually reading something. It was an interview with John Carpenter.
Yeah.
And obviously he's done every movie under the fucking sun. He's done everything. And they said to him, because obviously certain movies done by certain directors, like, or even certain writers, Stephen King, all Stephen King stories are on the same plot, in the same world.
Mm.
And they said, to Carpenter, are your stories all in the same world? And he said, no, not at all. Some ones you could place in the same world because they don't affect each other. Some you simply cannot. If I've got two scenarios in New York, and in both of them New York is in the 1990s and gets destroyed, well, they are two different New Yorks. And what he said is, he thinks that's what all films are. They are all, the writer is writing a different version of the area.
Yeah.
And there is nothing to say that each time one of these writers writes something, how do you know that there isn't a parallel world where this is going on right now? How do you know there is not a world where Chris Pratt is a fucking dinosaur trainer, or fucking Tobey Maguire isn't swinging around on webs, or all that kind of stuff? And he said, I like that idea that we're creating worlds that this is what happens in this world. So yeah, that was quite interesting.
But so that's coming out soon, guys. Definitely one that you should go and watch. I think it should be an interesting watch, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Right, we'll move into games now.
There's only one.
We've only got the one really to talk about. I'll probably go back to the coming soon and let you know what's coming out as well. But because it's not me.
This is the one we wanted to talk about.
This is the one we wanted to talk about, and that's Vampire.
Vampyr, not IRE.
And this is basically a RPG game. I'm not totally sure if it's fully open world or if it's just.
I think it's like the older Rockstar games where there's a lot of map. You don't need to explore. You can explore more.
Yeah.
But it's like Vice City, for example. You could go anywhere within Vice City, but you're in Vice City. You're not.
Yeah.
You can't. If you go over that hill, you can't go over that hill. Let's just say. You know what I mean? You're locked in an area.
This is
but you can free roam. You don't have to follow the plot.
This is set back in the early 20th century, set in London. It's to do around the sort of Spanish flu time. You are
you're a vampire.
From what we've seen, yeah, you're a vampire, but you're also a doctor, which, makes sense.
It does, because we don't know, are the vampires like, the ancient race that has gone on since time immemorial, blah, blah, or was he dicking around, being a doctor as doctors do, dicking around and accidentally turned himself into a vampire? You don't know. We don't actually know that bit yet. I assume we'll find out in the game.
As a doctor recently turned into a vampire, you try to understand your new affliction. Your quest of intuition, discoveries and struggles will be filled with death and drama. While you attempt to stem the irrepressible thirst that constantly drives you to take human lives, as you cling on to what remains of your humanity, your decisions will ultimately shape the fate of your hero, while searching for the answers in the coughing, foggy aftermath of the Spanish flu.
Basically, you get skills and abilities. You seem to be able to, I assume there's some kind of skill tree or something.
Yeah.
You get weapons. You can.
There's guns, vampire abilities. It very much looks like a hack and slash beat 'em up style arcade system of progression. From what I've seen,
a big, but it does also seem there's the huge overarching story that you're a part of. It puts me very much in the lines of if you liked Vampire the Masquerade or Blood Rain, I can't see you not liking this, at all.
It looks like it should be a really interesting game. I think the problem is what we've seen in the past. I mean, even with games like The Masquerade, they were really good. I mean, The Masquerade, I think, did a really good job of doing a vampire open world RPG.
Well, I mean, there's a joke every time someone mentions Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Someone somewhere installs Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines and replays the motherfucker. I
mean,
I'm not.
I've played through it twice now.
I have.
It is a really good game, but
it's
one of the problem is that the game is full of a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
And I think that's mainly because it didn't really get the following that it should have gotten when it was first
at the
released.
time, yeah.
And now the following's there now for it, but now it's kind of too late because it's one of those games where if they could get it remastered,
that's what it needs, a remaster.
Put it in full HD, a full remaster of the game, fix a lot of the bugs. I think that people would actually go and buy the Vampire. I mean, I would. I'd go and buy it.
I mean,
again.
I know there's a group who do third-party patches that you have to manually install them, but it does help Masquerade run on newer systems.
Yeah.
But you have to install the third-party patches.
But I liked Bloodlines the Masquerade. I'm not going to lie. I think that the vampire games generally they don't do enough open world RPG vampire games where you're the vampire. You have to feed, you have to learn, you have to use your abilities and stuff. And games like Vampire the Masquerade gave us that, and I'm hoping that Vampire will give us this as well. Yeah. Because
BloodRayne was very linear.
Yeah, it was a very linear style game.
It was good, but it was linear.
Yeah. Even with the old Legacy of Kain games and Soul Reaver. I
forgot about them, yeah.
And all of those, which were also vampire games. They were really good, but once again, back then, open world was almost unheard of. It was, it'd be really nice to see some of these older titles come back, if you like.
Yeah.
With newer versions. I mean, for fuck's sake, if they can do it with Crash Bandicoot, then surely they can do it with some of these older vampire games that I can remember playing as a kid. And it would be really interesting to see how we can move this forward. I mean, like I say, Vampire is the first game to come out that's RPG open world vampire game since Bloodlines, I believe.
There's probably been others. I'm having a look now. Let me do it by year. Oh, it won't let me on mobile. I'm just going through. I'm just seeing.
It is by year, isn't it?
No, it's all over the shop. There's the It's by name. There's the Castlevania series. Obviously, They've tried to dabble in a more open world, but it didn't work, so it didn't feel like Castlevania. There's been 1,000 games called Dracula, apparently.
Yeah, well, they're always gonna go with the main.
There was a DLC for Infamous 2, apparently, that involved vampires. Mm-hmm. Nosferatu: The Wrath of Malachi, was that? That was randomly generated. I remember now. I remember Nosferatu: The Wrath of Malachi. I tried to actually record that once, guys. It didn't go too well. But yeah, there's not really been a lot of open world, certainly, for vampires. It's normally a very linear storyline.
And even then, in a lot of those games, you don't feed, you don't have to stalk in the shadows. I'm looking forward to this if it's done right.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of the gameplay trailers on the pre-alphas and whatever else, but I don't know. I think Bloodlines has kind of ruined the vampire open world RPG for me because it was a really good game.
Yeah.
They did really well with it, and I don't think anything's going to be able to match that.
Do you not? See, I'm hopeful for this. They've built a lot of hype.
Well, the reason I don't think so is because they added things in there that most games now they try and skirt around. So like the mini game, even like the little mini things that you have to do, like when you're breaking into someone's computer, you had to physically type.
Yeah,
the passwords in and stuff like that.
This has obviously completely circumvented that by the date.
By the date of that, yeah. But I don't know. If this game has got the ability to, even if it's just little things, lockpick. Lockpicking.
In this day and age, I would be very surprised if there isn't lockpicking.
We've seen in a part of a gameplay video we were watching that the guy picked up pieces of leather.
Yeah,
which to me sounds to be some sort of crafting going on. So long as there's this sort of thing going into this game, then it should be alright. Because lockpicking, crafting, all of these little things now, they're all a part of most gaming life.
Yeah, I would hope that they don't focus entirely on they don't focus too much on the crafting. Yeah, I want the giant overarching story. Some of it, by all means.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's just different outfits.
But I do not want to progress to the next, bit of the story, you're going to need to craft a full set of leather armor or whatever. Yeah, I don't, which means you got to go and find 500 bits of leather and then go and see a crafting merchant, then wait 3 days in real life and give him 500 gold and what have you. I don't want that. So I hope the crafting takes a second route, not a back seat, but the passenger seat. The crafting can be the DJ. Whereas the story needs to be the driver of the game. But it does look good. There's a lot. I'm hopeful for it. They built a lot of hype around it. I hope it can deliver. Really.
Yeah, so do I. Well, what else is coming out in June? Harvest Moon, if you play those games, that's coming out on the PlayStation and Switch. Yesterday, Origins, not a clue, it's coming out on Switch. If you like the Warhammer 40k games, you've got is that another DLC?
I think they're mostly DLCs. I think.
Although it is from $49.99, so I would hope that's a full game. It's called Inquisitor Martyr.
Thing is, what they're doing now is a lot of them are I think they're doing basically what World of Warcraft do with their DLC updates. They are an update, but they're a massive
full game, basically. Yeah. You've got the Elder Scrolls Online Somerset DLC that's coming out as well on all the consoles. Onrush, which to me looks to be some sort of racing game.
Again.
On PlayStation and the Xbone. MotoGP 18 coming out on all major consoles, including the Switch.
Yeah. PS4, Xbone, Switch, PC, toaster, microwave.
Yonder, the Cloudcatcher Chronicles. It's another Switch game. Flashback. 25th Anniversary Collector's Edition, also on the Switch. Mario Tennis, also on the Switch. The Crew 2.
Another racing game.
Another racing style game. Now, The Crew was one of those games that a lot of people got to the hype with the first one.
Did they?
So I would believe the second one will possibly get that same sort of hype. They've moved Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus, to the Switch. Crackdown 3 for the Xbone. Song of Memories for the Switch and the PlayStation.
And that's it. Then we're in July.
Song of Memory looks to be a Japanese anime style game, looking at the cover for it.
Which have actually had a lot of bullshit to them recently on Steam. I wasn't aware that we'd even touch on this subject, so I was going to leave it alone, but I'll talk for about 2 minutes on it. Basically, there's these groups that go around the internet and we don't like this, so we're going to lodge a complaint. Well, they did. They lodged a complaint with Steam against all these anime games, and Steam, for some stupid reason, listened and threatened all these developers that they are going to take them down. 2 days later, Steam, obviously feeling the backlash of consumers, said, it might not get taken down. We're going to re-review. We're going to re-review. Because they review, obviously, when the game gets put on the market. Then, obviously, this group, whoever they are, I can't remember, made them re-review it. Probably not. Steam just probably went, we've had too many, Because the thing is with these groups, they bombard them with different emails. Yeah. So it looks like a lot. So they probably went, we've had a lot, we'll have to take it down. And then they were like, hold on, something's not right here. Probably looked at the IPs at that point and went, they're all from the same fucking place. And said, apparently we're going to now re-review it. So there's a group going around attacking these. Now, I don't care if you do or do not like them. But don't be a dick to the people that do, because guess what? You're not right. Your opinion is your opinion, but shove it down my throat. I'll very quickly shove my fist down yours. Have you found a sixth news story?
Yeah, we're going to move into news stories now because
now I'm going to chat about that.
The first couple of news stories are actually to do with gaming, so it will work.
It flows, yeah.
Walmart Canada have fucked up E3.
Yeah, I read this.
Basically, with E3 happening next month, that is when we're supposed to find out about all the big games that are coming out.
Yeah.
All the AAA titles, and that's when
what's coming from who, what, when.
However, Walmart Canada have fucked up by basically confirming that the biggest titles are coming. They've told us that Gears of War 5 is happening. They've told us that Borderlands 3 is happening.
Yeah.
They've told us about Rage 2.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Splinter Cell.
A new Splinter Cell.
Oh my god! I've been waiting for Splinter Cell to come back for years.
He's happy now.
A new Assassin's Creed. A new
I could have told you a new Assassin's Creed would come.
We all knew that.
Is water wet?
Yeah.
Well, there's your answer then. Yeah.
Just Cause 4, which should be good as well. Lego Supervillains. Basically, what they've done is they've actually told you these games are coming back out because they've listed them.
Or they listed them. They're now taking them off. But...
Yeah. They're making a new Splinter Cell game. They're making a new Assassin's Creed, which we all knew about anyway.
Destiny 2
but they're
DLC.
doing. Apparently, the new Assassin's Creed is going to be a spin-off from Origins that's going to include ancient Greece. Splinter Cell, Sam Fisher's back. We don't know what the fuck he's going to be up to, but still.
I assume it's Splinter Cell, so killing shit.
Just Cause 4, obviously. Just Cause 3 was a massive game. Everyone loved it and enjoyed it, so obviously they're going to continue that on.
Well, people love Just Cause. People love Just Cause 2. They love Just Cause 3.
Destiny Comet is actually a code name for a DLC of Destiny 2, so it could mean that they are planning a big expansion coming out soon for that. Borderlands 3, which is technically Borderlands 4 because they did the pre-sequel. But still, that should be really good because everyone's been waiting to see what's going to happen with the rest of the Borderlands games. Lego DC Villains, which is basically just a leak that there was actually leaked back a couple of months ago, but they've confirmed it. Then Rage 2, Dragon Quest 2.
With Rage 2, they were actually the first people to respond. They, I've got an alarm going off apparently. They basically went on and said, jokingly pointed out why it's fake because they were like wrong font, But then a few days later they were like, okay, you know what? It's been leaked. Fuck it, have a trailer, and they've given us a trailer for Rage 2, and it looks. Rage 1 I loved. Now I know not everyone did, but I did, and I loved it for its wacky, out of control combat. It put me in the mind of Borderlands.
Yeah.
But this, they've also put it more in an open world, which I like the idea of. So that'll be good. I think. I hope.
And then Dragon Quest 2, Forza Horizon 5, which, as this say, that makes no sense because the series only goes as far as Forza Horizon 3. So, but there you go.
Well, that could be as simple as they put the wrong number there.
Yeah. The Division 2, I never played The Division, but I know a lot of people did. Gears of War 5 should be interesting due to the fact that we've been waiting to see what the hell's going to happen with the Gears of War storyline. Other games that are supposed to have been released, but they will also have a major presence at E3 are Dreams, Beyond Good and Evil 2, the Final Fantasy VII Remake,
which everyone and their dog's been waiting for,
WWE 2019.
But again, I could have told you that because water's wet.
The Last of Us Part 2, Insurgency Sandstorm, Metroid Prime 4, NBA 2019,
again is water wet,
and Super Smash Brothers.
So there's a few there that, anyone could have guessed would come out because water's wet, grass is green, the sky is blue, birds go tweet, tweet, and Steam will no doubt fuck up something else next week.
And we will be posting the link, obviously, to the Metro where we read these news stories from, so you can see their fuck up.
Yeah. And like we've already said, guys, next month I will watch E3. I will watch it. I will suffer and I will take some notes, and next month we will have a segment where we will discuss the E3. I'm calling it the E3. So yeah, that is Walmart fuck up. Yeah.
Microsoft now are doing something which they should be commended for. It's been taking a long time to do, but still,
because third-party makers have been doing this for fucking years.
Yes, but Microsoft are now going to be releasing an official controller for gamers with disabilities. The controller itself looks to be like a flat.
It looks. It reminds me of like the old
like a
NES
DJ deck.
Or the old NES controllers.
It's basically a flat board with some buttons on it and some big discs, which I'd imagine are going to be like giant analog sticks.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is good now. I mean, I know that third-party developers have been releasing controllers for a long time,
and well done to them. Like we're not taking anything away from you fellas,
but it is about time that the actual games console developers themselves
pulled the finger out.
Actually started to acknowledge that a lot of their games are played by people with disabilities and things that are going to hold them back using a traditional controller. Excuse me, guys. But I think that this is a step in the right direction. I think that if Xbox are doing this, PlayStation will soon follow.
Oh, of course they will.
The Switch actually is possibly one of the only controllers that may actually be right for a disabled person from the box. Because it can be split into two handheld little controllers.
Yeah, they might have a better time with the Switch.
Yeah. But no, I think this is right. They're going to be releasing this later on in the year. There doesn't seem to be a date yet, as it's not been announced. They'll be available for around £74, which is about in the middle between a standard Xbox One controller and the Elite controller. Personally, I think this should be sold at the same price as a standard controller. But obviously, this is a very different style of controller.
It uses more the ergonomic feedback which was on the Steam controller.
Yeah. But I mean, this could be showing you where all controllers are going in the future anyway. Like a multiple use controller for people with and without disabilities.
Yeah.
They seem to have removed the buttons. The shoulder buttons and all that sort of stuff, which is good because they're all right for people that have abled hands, but people with
I fucking don't. I got Jacob's cream crackers for fingers, but
this should be a really good thing that Microsoft are doing, and hopefully other game controller developers and games console developers will take heat of what Microsoft have done, and we should hopefully be seeing more and more of these things on the market, which would be great because I think it's time that they acknowledge that
there are disabled gamers.
There are disabled gamers out there, and this is really gonna help them, and that's good. I'm quite glad about that. Okay, sticking with the game news.
Yeah, even more. We've got gaming news because the Metro was full of the royal wedding.
And we're not talking about the royal wedding.
I don't want to talk about the royal wedding.
So basically, this news story is more of an optimism than what's actually happening. Mainly due to the fact that this is some guy basically wishing for this.
Yeah.
But we are wishing for the same to a degree.
Yeah.
Basically, we would like to see a new Deadpool game.
Yeah.
So with this guy, the reason being is the Deadpool game that was released 2010 was epic.
It was
a great old style run around beaten hack and slash with Deadpool.
Yeah,
and you can't beat that. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, it was like going back in time to play an older video game, but at the same time modern and fresh, and with because it's Deadpool, they can really push the boundary limits.
Oh yeah,
and make a game that everyone wants to play. You
can do anything with a Deadpool game,
and it really works. And I would love to see them do a second Deadpool game, because I think that its genre, its gameplay style is something that we're losing now.
Yeah.
Where everyone's moving into these online open world RPGs and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind open world RPGs, but sometimes I do just want to be able to pick up a couple of swords and kill 500 people and not worry about it.
Yeah.
And Deadpool gives you that ability. And it is one of those games that you can happily play through it more than once.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and definitely. The reason is because there is little things in there that you might miss on your first playthrough, little secrets, bits hidden that you could go and try and find, and it's just one of those games that makes you feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
And I want to see more of that. This guy also wants to see a battle royale.
No, this is actually what's already happened. Black Ops 4 has a battle royale mode. They've removed the story campaign from Black Ops 4. There isn't a story in Black Ops 4. They've put in a battle royale mode. Now, I was talking with another friend of mine. Believe it or not, I talk to other people other than this motherfucker. And we're both in the same thing of what they're doing is they're just... Because battle royale is the hottest thing at the minute. You've got Fortnite, you've got PUBG, and there are others that are bringing out battle royale modes, and the reason I think they've done this is because they can cash in on the battle royale, but when it dies, which it will, because everything does. I'm sorry if you love Fortnite, but it's not going to be here forever.
It's a fad.
Yeah,
Call of Duty was a fad, and that's now dying off.
Yeah, but they will. They'll then in. Oh, excuse me. They will it now in Black Ops 5, when that comes out in a couple of years, be able to go, oh yeah, well, we're not including the Battle Royale mode because it's done. Battle Royale's dead. And everyone will be fine.
However, Battlefield 5 are hinting at a Battle Royale mode as well.
Well, but when Black Ops 5 comes around, they'll be able to remove it and go, yeah, it's done.
Okay, so obviously we know that Capcom at the moment have got 2 secret games in development and no one seems to know what the fuck they are. There's a lot of speculation going around at the moment. One of the titles that a lot of people seem to think it's going to be is Devil May Cry 5.
Devil May Cry?
Maybe. Which I can sort of see them doing, but at the same time, I think a lot of people were so pissed off with Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
And Devil May Cry 4 that they're like, yeah, you really need, if you're going to do a 5th game, you need to go back to your roots and do Devil May Cry again. Dino Crisis 4 would be amazing to see, but I want them to go back to the Resident Evil style Dino Crisis 1, before they went into all the staged arcade section game, which I get was very popular around the time of the 90s when Dino Crisis 2 and 3 came out. But I really want to see them go back to Dino Crisis and do the first game style. It's you turn up at a base, there's dinosaurs all over the place, but it's still that sort of horror, walking around, dodgy camera angle, don't know what the fuck's around the corner.
Yeah.
Sort of game, because that's the game that we want.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously we know that Jurassic World are bringing a game out where you will run a park, so it's basically going to be like Operation Genesis again.
Yeah.
But newer.
Yeah.
But I want to see a dinosaur game like Dino Crisis 1. Even if that's going to be Dino Crisis 4, I just want them to move away.
Yeah.
I don't agree with this guy. This guy also seems to believe that the Onimusha games may be one of those games that they're bringing back. Don't get me wrong, the Onimusha games were fantastic on the PlayStation 2. Had Jean Reno in the game.
Yeah, but I can't imagine.
But I can't imagine they're going to bring that back because it wasn't a majorly popular title back then. a lot of people are calling for Resident Evil 2 to have a HD remake.
It is. They are making it. What people want is they want, because they announced it shortly after Resident Evil 1 remaster, remake, remodel came out. They instantly said, okay, we're going to do 2. But then there's been nothing. Now, the thing that I'll say to those people who haven't seen anything, and I have said this before, is the problem with Resident Evil 2 is with Resident Evil 1, you had a remake already on the GameCube.
Yeah,
which had redone a lot of the textures already, so they only had to really redo the character models. With 2, there isn't anything.
No.
So they are working from scratch. Now, if they do 3, they have that advantage again that there were already some remade textures done. So again, it won't take too long. But 2 is being remade from the ground up, and it takes 3, 4, 5 years to make a Resi 2 game. I will happily hold my breath and say yes, they will say something at E3 for Resident Evil 2.
I would have thought so.
I will say that. And it is
apparently people are saying that you can get some of the Metal Gear games free on Xbox Live Gold currently.
Okay.
See, what we're reading at the moment, guys, is a section of the Metro called Games Inbox. And this is basically where people message the Metro and tell them what they've heard and whatnot.
Yeah. There's a lot of things going around. Also, I do know it does appear that Star Wars Battlefront 2 EA are shutting the doors on that game now. They are stopping development of it.
I'm not surprised.
And they're going to move into Battlefront 3, no doubt, which will be more bullshit. People will buy it, but I think if they fuck up on 3, I definitely think they are.
I think the problem with Star Wars,
they are going to feel the wrath from the House of Mouse if they fuck 3.
I think the problem with Star Wars games at the moment is that they're trying to do the Call of Duty style.
Well, that's what EA want. EA have literally said their future is online multiplayer loot box games.
Yeah, but people don't just want that. I mean, when I think Star Wars games, some of the best Star Wars games were like Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
1 and 2. Even The Force Unleashed was an alright Star Wars game. I like those. I mean, don't get me wrong. The reason that I like Knights of the Old Republic, it's an open world RPG.
Yeah.
It gave you the ability to have your own Millennium Falcon styled spaceship and fly around the galaxy, doing missions, becoming a better Jedi or Sith. And it really worked. It really did work. Jedi Academy was a great game. And I like that style of game. Jedi Academy was a very linear styled story-based game. However, it had a very good progression system in there. And I think that I would like to see a Star Wars game where there is basically just a solo player campaign again.
Yeah.
I'd love to see,
and that is what so many people are calling out for. But EA keep bringing out these online things.
You could do a Battlefront styled game where you're a stormtrooper or you're a rebel fighter. You don't even have to be a Jedi in these games. I mean, I guess I know everyone wants to be a Jedi at Star Wars. I get this.
That's why everyone loved the Wii.
Yeah, I get this, but at the same time, you can be in the Star Wars universe as an engineer.
Yeah.
And still get to go on all these great adventures, use blasters. I mean, I get it. I mean, another great Star Wars game was the Bounty Hunter series.
Yeah.
They were really good. You weren't a Force user, you was a bounty hunter. You had pistols, for fuck's sake. But it was good. And I really want to see those sort of Star Wars games come back, because that is how you can expand the universe of Star Wars even more.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
the Knights of the Old Republic really worked because they didn't stay with modern Star Wars. They went back pre-Star Wars.
Yeah.
To tell you about the Sith back then. And I think that there's so much they can do with those sorts of stories that we should be getting those games more than the online run around, kill each other's. Because I'm not being funny, they're boring as shit.
Yeah, they are. They're all the same game with a different skin, and the reason these developers make them is they're easy. They are easy to make because the coding is all the same and you just need some different textures. But honestly, if you guys want a single player Star Wars game, when they bring out Star Wars 3, Battlefront 3, don't buy it. And you will then have Disney go, oh, hi, EA, you know that contract? Crank! There it is, gone now. We're giving it to a real games developer who will give us what people want.
Right, we'll move on now. Away from gaming completely, we've got a couple of news stories here. We'll start off with this one because this woman is a dick. And then we'll move into something a little bit more funny.
Yeah. So this one, woman ignores road closures to try and drive through half marathon.
Now, you can quite clearly see that the marathon runners are trying to stop her from driving. There is quite clearly a few thousand people on the streets trying to run. This is just because this for me sums up drivers. I'm not bothered about the gender. This is drivers at the moment. I'm on the road now a lot, and I've had several near misses in the last week.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what's been going on this last couple of weeks.
None of which
come out the woodwork.
None of which have even been my fault. You know, I'm driving down a road and cars are just flying out of junctions without even looking both ways, and it's stuff like this. I don't think people seem to understand. This is going to get people killed, and I don't want to be killed because of some idiot that can't follow simple traffic rules.
Yeah.
It's stuff like this that's really starting to get on my nerves now, because I just think, for a start off, let's just start at the basics of, let's say, in a crash, no one's hurt in the crash. The car's hurt. Now, I don't know about you, but I've not got the money to go out and buy another car. I don't really want to go and, start getting no claims getting rid of, because I've had to claim on my car, and I don't think a lot of people have got the money nowadays to be losing cars and losing family members.
And if you have, fucking share the wealth.
And I think that people just need to start looking at road signs. They need to start driving more carefully, because the way it's going to end up is we all going to die. And do you really want to have a death on your conscience? Because I can tell you now, there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't be able to cope with it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I think that people just need to sort of wake up a little bit and just sort of, I don't know, just be a little bit more mindful about what you're doing. Because,
and it's not even like she can claim she didn't know that this marathon was going on. They put up signs weeks in advance.
Yeah, there's signs in advance. There's obviously a road closed sign there that says, you're not coming through. I mean, let's just take up the top of my road, for instance. Currently where I live, they're building a bypass. And at the top of one of the roads that you have to use to get out of my village, it says quite clearly, no left turns. Because the little slip road that helps you do the left turns is closed, and they don't want you making a full-on right-angled left turn onto a busy junction. So you're supposed to go straight over the junction, loop around yourself, and then you can then join.
Yeah.
On traffic light control. Okay? Now, I went that way yesterday. Not one, not two, but 3 cars all in a row all went up, seen the no turning left sign, and turned left. 3 cars. Okay? Now, there's roadworks happening here. There's people walking up and down these junctions because they're trying to, lay road surface. Now, there's obviously a reason they don't want you turning left there, because it's dangerous. Yet people are still doing it. And it's just, once again, to say that people just aren't following basic road safety, and it is going to get someone killed.
It is. It's a joke. So what more did this woman do then? So she drove in. Someone tried to stop her. She kept going
until they all stopped in front of her. Basically,
yeah.
runners stopped and just, they thought, fuck the marathon time, someone's going to die, and stopped her. She was like, I can't get out, listen, I've tried every way of getting out. I've workshop in Oakhampton. I've had no information. I went very slowly. Well, you had information that the road was closed. No one cares that you can't get to work because of road closure. It's your job to have moved before the road was closed.
Yeah.
To find another way out.
So she gets there, the busy road. The officers there told her to, stay where you are. She tells them to phone the workshop. She's got nothing between her ears, has she?
No, basically not. No, she's just a bit of a dick. But no, this is just to sort of say to people, look, just be careful out there on the roads, because there's a lot of these idiots driving around at the moment.
Yeah, there are.
And I don't want to be hearing that our listeners are being killed off when we only have a few.
Yeah, well, I don't want to hear any fuckers being killed off, so let's drive a bit sensible, guys. I know there's more cars on the road because it's nice weather, you're all going out somewhere, but calm the fuck down.
Right, let's move into some funny pictures now. These are the pictures of the most memorable criminals in the United States of America. Now, you guys will be able to see these. What I recommend now is we're going to stop talking for 10 seconds. It will give you enough time to click the link to pull up the pictures yourself.
Yeah. Right, you should be looking by now, I think.
Hopefully you are. Right, okay, so basically I've pulled this up because these guys, you can understand why they're criminals, I think. Because they ain't getting around in normal society, are they? The first dude, I mean, it looks like he's got no teeth.
He's very Donald Duckian.
I don't understand.
Right, so
people.
Noel arrested for chasing a family member with a hatchet.
Amazing.
Oh dear. Next, what is? Hello.
Then there's a wild face of Noel D. Dawson Jr. who's just been arrested.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. Ignore the right. So that's him, right?
Fantastic looking mullet of this dude here. That's what the tagline is.
I mean, it's an impressive mullet, but
is that the same?
No, it's a different bloke.
No, are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure that is not him.
No. Another shot shows Michael Whittington. He was held for robbing a bank in Denver, looking unusually happy with himself. He does look quite happy.
He does, doesn't he? Next, we've got
Floyd Beebe from Florida. He was arrested and convicted for burglary and theft. He added to the mugshot Hall of Fame because of his Guitar Done tattoo on his forehead. What a dick.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Look at the teeth on that bastard. He was nicknamed Dracula.
It's not like Twatula.
I'd have called him Donkey.
Eddie Murphy had sued you.
Alan Dale Lee was held on drugs charges.
Drugs?
Subsequently nicknamed Dracula by cops because of his strange three-toothed smile. I mean, these teeth are massive. They're like, they were never going to fit in his mouth. Speaking of teeth, this guy's a walrus. Homeless man Ray Corner was accused of strangling his pet dachshund in South Daytona, Florida in 2015.
They're all in Florida, aren't they?
This guy has 2 tusks, a long face, and dirty, scraggly hair. He looks like a smackhead.
He really does, doesn't it? Oh my... Hi!
I don't understand the teeth. There's so much teeth.
You're right, mate.
Michael Whittington was photographed by police for looking unusually happy. Oh no, this is the good dude that robbed the bank. Right. So who the fuck's this top dude?
I don't know. Right, hold on. I'm going to be... No. I don't know. They haven't put out about him.
They've not put anything about him, man. We don't know who he is. But yeah, he does look really happy with himself.
Yeah.
Is that a woman?
I don't know.
Luther... No, it can't be. It looks like a woman with a mustache. It's the bearded lady, guys. Luther Smith was arrested in Florida again for aggravated battery and sports a light wispy mustache. I don't know what the fuck is on his face. He looks like a woman. Okay, this dude is balding.
Nice beard.
He's a shoemaker. Oh no, Michael Shoemaker.
You thought it was...
I thought it was a shoemaker. Maybe he killed the elves.
Santa Claus on smack.
This guy was arrested in Glade Valley, Maryland, after being accused of shooting at his son.
That thing bred?
Apparently. This next dude looks a bit like Chris Christopherson.
I think he looks
from
like...
the Blade films.
No, I was thinking more like one of the old professional wrestlers.
Or maybe like Star-Lord's dad.
I do get what you're saying, but he really gets me as one of these old... the old professional wrestlers that can't start?
Yeah, but for me, he looks a bit like Chris Christopherson from the Blade films.
This criminal certainly has had better days. He's certainly... got a bit of sunburn, mate.
This dude has a bright white forehead because he's always wearing a cap. And he's got a tan. Like
the ultimate
it looks like a
line.
Sunrise coming off his head. And I don't think he's going to care me saying that because he ain't going to hear me anyway if he's in prison.
Take their cap off once.
This dude's sticking his tongue out at us.
Failure to pay fines. What's he's done the fucking same though. He's like half black.
That's the dude.
What?
Is that the dude?
That's not him. What are you on with, lad? James
Owings, pitcher, was arrested in Oregon for driving with a suspended license.
He's got a Yosemite Sam thing going on.
And he's got no teeth.
He's got no teeth?
His face is all sunken in and he's got a little moustache there. Basically, I've added this because they all look stupid, basically.
Yeah, they really do.
And it's just something I think that you guys... I'm hoping that you're all sat there laughing right now because I'm laughing. These guys are fucking ugly motherfuckers.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to meet them in a dark alley, would you?
Definitely not. Right, and we're gonna leave you today with the thought that firefighters in the United Kingdom are going to be receiving training soon to remove butt plugs and cock rings. Yeah. This is what the world's coming to. Now, I actually want to say that I believe this to be a good idea. Now, the reason being is that A&Es in this country, and
probably all over the world.
Yeah, but A&Es in this country, ambulance crews in this country are already under so much pressure with the workload that they've already got.
Yeah.
That when it comes to things like this, that realistically they aren't trained for in a way because they're having to use saws to cut rings
like
off
this.
cocks
You actually have to go to A&E. You have to go to your doctor. The ambulance crews aren't equipped.
No, so the ambulance crew will probably come out, put you in the back of an ambulance, take you to the hospital. You'll then sit and wait 4 hours in agony while you have to wait for a doctor to be available to come and see you. The doctor will then go, "Oh yes, it's very swollen, sir, isn't it? We're going to have to cut that off." And you're hoping he's on about the ring and not the cock. And then you're going to have to wait again for possibly another 3 or 4 hours while they then prep a surgery room for you to be able to go in and have this ring cut off your dick or a butt plug removed from the arsehole. Now, allowing the fire service to do these sorts of procedures, A, they already are trained in cutting things. I mean,
yeah.
it's the way of life for a firefighter.
Seatbelts, car parts.
And B, I think that it means that the firefighters, A, are going to have a little bit of extra work to do.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's a lot of firefighters out there at the moment that are sitting around a lot because there's not as many fires as there used to be.
Yeah, there is a lot more fire safety things, of flame retardant.
And a lot of people own fire extinguishers now and stuff like that. And I think this is just another way that, I mean, fire crews all over the world don't always just deal with fires. I mean,
no.
There's fire crews in Australia that are also rescue teams. They do, they're the ones that will go into a building when it's on the verge of collapse. They're the ones that will go and rescue someone off the side of a cliff. They become multiple occupancy, if you like.
I mean, it's not just that. It's fire crews are also trained to do paramedic work because they're needed at, like, especially high peak times, like when we had the Olympics. There were loads of fire crews running about. Yeah. So half the paramedics have been called down to London.
But no, I think that this is going to be a good idea. I mean, I've obviously pulled it up because it's just funny, the idea of Fireman Sam to come out and cut a cock ring off.
Fireman Sam cutting your cock off?
Or Sam.
What was that?
You have to speak Welsh because Fireman Sam is Welsh like.
Oh, it's Germany actually.
Aye, but Fireman Sam is still Welsh.
On.
Well, this proves we should have read the story before talking about it. But I think that if it works in Germany, I can see it happening in things.
I didn't want to see that.
It's not a real cock; it's a dummy, mate.
Oh, is it a dummy?
Yes.
Right, that's all right then.
I can see that. You know, these are. I mean, I'm not being funny. It looks like a trowel.
Yeah, it's like a mini trowel
that they sort of push underneath your cock. I'm guessing add as like a plate.
Yeah.
For cutting through.
And it'll take less than 15 minutes.
I think this is a good idea. Like I say, I think this is something that is just going to be able to move the fire service in a lot of countries into the next step.
Rescuers have been called to free crochet needles stuck in a man's urethra,
a penis trapped in a bottle,
and an apple up his arse. He had a fun night, didn't he?
He won't be allowed to back inside fucking Walmart, I tell you. One weightlifter in Worms, Germany, spent 3 hours having his penis removed from the centre hole of an iron weight. Obviously thought he was going to be able to stretch his penis bigger.
It was shattered using a grinder, then cut up using a vibrating saw. Training is no laughing matter.
I bet they do.
I bet they do.
Training is not fun for us, but rather requires the utmost concentration.
Oh yeah, when they're doing it, certainly they're there. But after they've done, then you know they kind of have a giggle in the back.
Well, there's a dude there.
Why make firefighters do it? Why not make them go to the hospital? It's because the hospitals are stretched.
Yeah, the hospitals are already stretched. Countries can't afford to keep the hospitals with enough staff. So, no, I think this is a good move. I think this is the way that things need to go. People need to be able to do more than one job.
Yeah.
Basically, I think
we're now in the world where you need to be able to multitask. You know, especially the ambulance, the firefighters, and the police. Their jobs are more and more overlapping, so they need
to be able to do each other's work, basically.
Yeah, I know. I read something a long time ago in Japan. Their ambulance crews are now trained for security purposes.
Makes sense.
Because they were getting called out and then attacked.
Yeah.
So you know they got trained to be able to protect themselves. The person who's doing the attacking as well. Because that's the thing, when someone attacks you in security, it's not about just protecting yourself. You can't just go and kill them.
No.
You've got to do it safely. And if they're going after an ambulance crew, there is probably something wrong with them. They're probably on drugs and need help. So it's dealing with all that safely. So it is overlapping these jobs. And we're in that world now.
We are indeed. And with that...
Are we done?
We are done.
We're done.
We will see you next month. We'll give you a little bit of info about E3, but I'm sure if you're interested, you'll either watch it.
Yeah, you'll probably have watched.
Or watch the recaps of E3 anyway. We'll give you a little bit of information about it, but don't expect lots because, to be honest, we don't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got our EGX special coming up in a couple of months.
Yeah, oh yeah, EGX is coming, innit?
September, that is. So not far away now, but only a couple of months away. We will be doing an EGX special.
Yeah.
We will also, more than likely, this one will probably be bringing his camera again and vlogging shit. But yeah, we will speak to you next month, guys. We'll find something to talk about, I'm sure. We always do. Bye.
Bye.